Hello. Now, do you get stressed out at Christmas? Well, how long is Christmas now? Christmas is a few weeks away. I've got 2 more weeks at work, and then I'm going to break up for a 2 week holiday, which I'm really, really looking forward to. But what I'm going to talk to you about today, the video today, is things I no longer do at Christmas. Yes, I don't do them. And I don't do them, so I'm not stressed. So I'm not stressed at Christmas anymore. And if you don't want to be stressed at Christmas either, then please watch the video. I've got, I think, at least 16 things that I don't do. I wrote them all down. I was thinking, what don't I do at Christmas? Because I've been not doing them for so long, it's automatic. And so I thought, right, what don't I do? Let me write those down. Then let me share them with you. And then maybe we all just don't do this together and we'll have a wonderful stress-free Christmas. Welcome to my channel. I'm Michelle Christian, and I talk about all things abundance mindset and how to set boundaries and how to live your best life. So if you want to be living your best life, regardless of your circumstances, then just follow me as I try and live my best life. We can do it together. We can do it together. So, like I said, I'm going to share with you some tips that I don't do anymore at Christmas, but have meant that for the last, 15 plus years, I've had really nice Christmases, unlike what you might see on the TV, in soaps, in, what you might hear from your family members. I have a really great Christmas time, and I want to share that with you. So I don't get the stress, I don't get the anxiety, I don't get the frustration or the annoyance. I am just chilled, peace and goodwill to all men. So, that's what I'm going to say to you. Now, I was reading this morning from a book that someone recommended. It's called Simple Abundance, and it's quite huge because there's one sort of message for every day of the week. And it's a day book of comfort and joy. So I was reading that this morning. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be doing a video about this. Let me just pull my finger out and get this video sorted. So it's not going to be a quick fix type of video. I'm going to tell you what I do. But it's more like, I don't know, like a little bit of a conversation. So first of all, I just thought I'd share what I read this morning, because I'm going to basically talk about what I read this morning. So it was called Tidings of Comfort and Joy. And it's really, this is a book to women. So it's about how women can live simpler lives and experience simple abundance. And I'm all about the simple abundance. So it sort of starts off with, this is the week. I think this author is actually American, because we in the UK don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So for us, we haven't had a really busy period up just before Christmas. We just focus on Christmas, really. I did see my first Christmas tree. I think I saw my first Christmas tree in October in someone's window. I was like, okay, well done you. I'm yet to decorate my Christmas tree, and we are on the 8th of December. I bought it yesterday. It will get decorated this weekend. Anywho, I digress. So this was talking about things that I used to do. So it says, this is the week that women's shoulders begin to droop, as their list of holiday should-dos becomes as long as and heavy as Jacob Marley's chains. There's card writing, card mailing, gift buying, gift wrapping, gift sending, tree buying, tree trimming, cookie baking, party giving, turkey roasting. By next week, unless a power greater than ourselves restores us to sanity, women will be dropping in their tracks. Not surprisingly, the Christmas holidays are the height of the flu season. The author of a recent book on simplifying our lives suggests that we bow out of the holidays as if this were an option for real women. Is it for you? When it begins to look a lot like Christmas, it's because women across the country are wearing red hats and pointy shoes to accessorize their Donna Karan suits, Gap jeans, or Land's End sweats. You can sort of tell the age of this. In case anyone hasn't noticed, women are the ones who do Christmas, performing miracles on demand. Women are spirits, does a machina, making holiday dreams come true from behind the scenes. The celebration of Christmas as we know it today, with its whirl of festivity, decorations, lavish gifts, parties, and family-centred traditions, was a creation of middle-class Victorians in both England and the United States in the mid-19th century. Victorian women who were full-time homebodies began doing Christmas in July. However, in the final 2 decades of the 20th century, women have been doing lots of other things while we're doing Christmas, which is why we end up doing ourselves in every December. For many women, this is the season of misery and angst, tears, tantrums, screaming, yelling, hustle, bustle, cash conflicts, royal pain relations, and holiday humbug. Wouldn't the real Christmas miracle be if we slow down long enough to remember the reason for the season, so that our holiday celebrations become authentic and meaningful? So, be of good cheer, be not frazzled, frustrated, nor frantic, for I bring you tidings of comfort and joy. If you do Christmas at your house, you can choose to do it your way, whatever that way might be. You can consciously decide to be happy, loving, fulfilled, generous, peaceful, contented, spiritual, joyous, calm, festive, and emotionally connected to the important people in your life for the holidays this year. Or you can unconsciously choose to be a wreck. Today, realise that you can't do everything, not all at once, not in the next 16 days, not at all, period. Now, recognise that one of the reasons Christmas pasts probably didn't live up to your expectations is because you try to do too much too perfectly. And so when I read that today, I was thinking, oh my gosh, yes, totally hit the nail on the head. And so what I'm talking about really echoes that, mirrors that. And I'm going to throw in a couple of like my personal little stories of what I've done over the last few Christmases and beyond. It's not a short video, real life examples. So stay with me. Promise I will give you some actionable steps that will help you to make your Christmas far more enjoyable, and maybe even be the best Christmas you've had in a long time. And you can always create better and better Christmases as each year goes by. So firstly, I'm coming from Christmases when I was younger and living at home being manic and stressful and having my mum in tears. No joke, having my mum in tears, screaming. There's three of us at home, three daughters and single parent. And so every single year we have got somebody's not helping me, nobody's done this. I don't know if you can relate. The nobody, the somebody, the anybody, the everybody. We weren't our names, we were just entities. Somebody hasn't done this, nobody's helping me. And it was beyond stressful. By the time the dinner's come, you're so upset and annoyed that you can't even eat it, with a good heart. Do you know what I mean? So not pleasant at all. And I did think to myself, oh God, when I leave home, Christmas is going to be the worst thing ever. And when I got married and did my first Christmas, I was a bit shocked. So I was thinking, okay, it's not that bad. I'm not quite sure why she was getting stressed out all these years, because it's not that bad. But at the same time, it's partly because I just decided not to do certain things. So one of the things we used to have to do every single year was a massive clean, the big clean the house from top to bottom. I'm talking skirting boards, the ceilings, everything, a massive, massive clean. First thing we had to do. And I hated doing that massive clean. And then once you've done the massive clean, then it's put up all the decorations. And I didn't mind that bit too much. Quite creative. And back in the olden days, the kids say to me at school, "Oh, miss, in the olden days," and I'm like, okay, fairs. So back in the day, there was this decoration that you'd string across the ceiling, and they were like silver and gold and this like tin foily kind of material, and you string them all out across the ceiling, and then you'd have the tinsel everywhere, and you'd decorate the tree and with the lights and the whole shebang. And so that would take ages, and you would do all of that. So that's what you used to have to do. So the one thing I stopped doing was this big clean. Stop doing a big clean. No need. If I'm tidying up anyway, I don't need a big clean for Christmas. That's just how I see it. The other thing we used to have to do in the run-up, so we've broken up from school now, and then we're in the kitchen. You think this used to happen on Christmas Eve. And it's the making mince pies and sausage rolls from scratch. Now, it looks lovely on the Christmas films. Hey to the Christmas films, woohoo, sprinkling icing on everything. But when you've had to make everything, like the pastry, and you've sorted all the mincemeat and everything, and then you put them in the oven, you got to wait for them to cook, and then they overcook, and all the the middle of the mince like spills out and dries onto the baking tray, and then you've got to scrub that off because we didn't have a dishwasher. And you're making a massive batch of them. It is just tedious. As a 12-year-old, it is not fun. It is not fun to be doing that. And it's not fun to be making your own sausage rolls. And my mum would buy the mincemeat, and then not the mincemeat, the sausage meat. And then that would sort of go in a bowl. And then all the herbs would go in and all the bits and pieces that she's adding. And then she'd make the pastry. And we've got to roll it out and fill the sausage rolls and watch the oven. And what made it worse was you can't eat it. No, you can't have any yet. They're not there for Christmas. So you've done all that work and you can't eat anything. So sometimes me and my sister would like sneak a bite, sneak a taste out. But yeah, so number 2, I don't make my own mince pies. I buy them, and I don't care that it costs me. What does it cost me? Like sometimes I buy the luxury ones with brandy in, and they're going to cost me £4, 4, 6 maybe. I don't care. I'm paying this £4. I'm having my mince pies without any stress. No stress whatsoever. Tasty mince pies. I don't make my own mince pies. You might see around Christmas, my son posted photos of our Christmas dinner last year, I think, and the year before. And then you see all these people's Christmas dinners on TikTok and on social media, and the turkey is dry and everything just looks beige and it just looks horrible. So what I don't do is I don't buy a huge turkey. I'm not spending £70 on a turkey. I don't care if it had a great life. I'm not paying that. So I'm not buying a huge turkey. So therefore, I'm not cooking a huge turkey, which also comes with the stress of making sure, is it cooked all the way through? Am I going to get food poisoning at Christmas? So I don't buy one and I don't cook one. What I might do if we want turkey sandwiches is I might buy a turkey crown and I might cook that. And cover it with the bacon and the maple syrup and put that in the oven and do that. But the whole big turkey, defrost for how many hours, in the oven for how many hours, like cooking all day, don't do that anymore. Relieves my stress. We still eat a nice dinner. The fourth thing I don't do is I don't eat dinner at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Christmas Day. I've never particularly been a fan of eating what I would consider like lunch, like a big dinner at lunchtime. So we typically eat from 6 o'clock. Depends who's cooking. When I let my son cook one year, we didn't eat till about 9 p.m, but I was adamant that I'm not intervening. We had snacks. He's cooking. I let him get on with it. I'm drinking my cocktails. I'm having a great time. I'm not cooking. So yeah, so we ate late that one year, but typically we would eat between 6 and 8 o'clock on the evening and have sort of like really take our time and enjoy our food, and we eat later, which means that we then don't do turkey sandwiches. If we've had turkey that year, we're not having turkey sandwiches until Boxing Day or even a few days after that, because we've wrapped it up and popped it in the freezer or popped it in the fridge. So I don't eat dinner early on Christmas Day. I got caught out quite a few times of not being organised. I'm going to say it's the ADHD, not being organised, and having to brave the shops on Christmas Eve. And you can just see the desperation on people's faces. It's in the eyes, the desperation. People will elbow you out of the way. They're grabbing for things. It looks like Armageddon. Honestly, it looked like when I went shopping during COVID and the shelves were just bare, and it actually made me quite frightened. That's what it's like on Christmas Eve. I'm like, hello, the shops will be open again in probably 2 days' time, depending on what day Christmas falls. Relax. So no, I don't shop on Christmas Eve unless I choose to, unless I've genuinely forgotten something that I really can't do without. But no, I do not shop on Christmas Eve. I think it's an absolute nightmare. So I do try and make sure that I am as prepared as possible. Plus, you don't make good decisions when you're rushing. And if you're buying gifts on Christmas Eve, they're not going to be the best necessarily. And you're going to have to make sure you keep that receipt because it's probably going to be going back. Number 6. When Christmas Day is over, I'm not going to the Boxing Day sales. I'm not waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get dressed, to drive and queue, to wait in a queue for 2 hours for when the sale opens and the doors open to run around a shop to grab things just because it might be 20 or 30 or 50% off. I do not have time for that. I'm not doing it. I'm staying in my bed. I do not do Boxing Day sales. And actually, I don't really do any sales because what you tend to find is it's just all the old tap that they couldn't sell before that they roll out and pretend, oh, look at this amazing discount you're getting. And really, you're not always getting a good deal. So I don't do Boxing Day sales. I don't fall for the advertising because I figured it out quite early in that it's the same advertising every single year. Every year there's a Boxing Day sale. Every year there's a New Year sale. Every year there'll be a sale. There are sales all the way through the year. I can wait. Do you know what I mean? I can wait. So I don't do Boxing Day sales. Number 7, I do not buy many gifts and I do not buy expensive gifts. So when my kids were little, what we did at one point was say, okay, your birthday is really important. We'll celebrate you on your birthday. You can make your list for birthdays. We'll give you a budget or we'll decide what the budget is and write your list for your birthday. You can have anything you want. But when it comes to Christmas, Christmas is not about you. And think about the reason for the season. It's meant to be sort of giving and receiving and the birth of Jesus, Redeemer, all that kind of stuff. So it's not about you. It's not about piles of presents under the tree. So we did that quite early in. So what I do at Christmas now is I give a budget. My kids are older now. My kids are, what are they? 26 and 24. So now it's okay. This is your budget. I'll literally tell my daughter, send me the link. What is it you want? Send me the link. I'll sort you out. So she knows what she's getting. They're particular now, aren't they? They get to a certain age. You can't just buy them anything. So yeah, send me a link. I will order that. I'll wrap it up. I'll go so far as to put it in a bag with a bit of tissue on it. And if I can buy it from somewhere that will wrap it for me, all the better, because I didn't put it on the list, but I don't buy wrapping paper anymore. And I don't wrap presents anymore. I like bags. They're easier. I don't have to hunt for sellotape. I don't have to make crisp corners. I can watch as many YouTube videos where they show you folding the paper in really pretty ways. I don't have time for that. So I'm not doing it. So yes, I don't buy expensive gifts. And here's another reason why I don't buy expensive gifts or lots of gifts. And this is because, and this I always say, when your kids are little, this is a little sidebar because I'm just sharing with you. So when my son was in preschool, that means he was about 4 years old. It's before they go to start reception, like actually start proper school. And he had loads of things this one Christmas, loads. I think it had like a red fire truck, this big truck he could push around the living room, really big truck. He'd had presents off his aunties and his uncles. He had loads of stuff. And he goes to preschool and they're all sitting around, oh, what did you have for Christmas? And he said, I had socks. And they're like, what do you mean? What else did you have for Christmas? No, I just had socks. And because I was volunteering there and I worked there, they're like, I can't believe you only bought your son socks. I'm like, hello, I bought him loads of stuff. It's just that he loved, I think there were either Thomas the Tank Engine socks or Bob the Builder socks or something like that, some character socks. And he loved them so much. That's the only thing he remembered that he got for Christmas. That's the only thing he told anybody he got for Christmas. So everything else we spent money on, we might as well have not bothered. And at that point, I realised, you know what? Kids don't need much stuff. You don't need to be spending a fortune on kids because as they get older, their presents get more expensive anyway. So when he's 4, I could have done with like just buying him a few socks, buying him a couple of toys, and he would have been happy. And then as they get older, then it was the time when CDs were not expensive, but you know, you can't just buy a CD. You couldn't just buy one game for the PlayStation, even though it might be 50 quid, because when you see the one thing wrapped up, it doesn't look very much, does it? So it was a case of, okay, let me figure this out, because as they get older, they just get more expensive. Let me mitigate that. So that's why we brought that rule in of you don't get to pick and choose at Christmas, particularly. You get a limited gift. So yeah, don't buy many or expensive gifts. Number 8, also linked slightly to when they were in primary school, but I don't send Christmas cards, so I don't buy Christmas cards. So I don't waste my money. I feel like it's a waste sometimes. when they were in primary, what would happen back in the olden days before GDPR and all that kind of stuff, is that when they were in their school classes, you would get given a list of all the kids in the class, and then you would sit there and you'd write out 30 cards to every kid in the class, or get them to try and write their name in the card, and I'd send 60 cards into school, and then you'd get how many cards back, and they'd be all over the house, all on strung on the door, and then they'd go in the recycling at the end of Christmas. And I did this for quite a few years, and then I just thought, can't be bothered with this. Can't be bothered, so I just stopped. Stopped giving Christmas cards. No one's particularly moaned. I might get my sister to make me some cards, and then I will distribute those to like my mom or my kids or whatever, but I don't buy or give or send Christmas cards anymore. That was number 8. Number 9, when you go shopping at Christmas, I don't know if you're anything like me, and you have a little look in other people's trolleys and what they've bought. What I've noticed is sometimes, not Christmas Eve, so I don't shop really on Christmas Eve, but just the run up to Christmas and you're in the supermarket, and you're looking in people's trolleys, they are piled high with food. Some people have got 2 trolleys. And I'm thinking, it's one day. Shops are going to be closed Christmas Day. They're going to be open on Boxing Day. It's one day, people. It's one day. So I do not buy a whole load of food. I do not do a massive shop. I just think what's the point? What's the point? The shops are going to open again, and I'm not going to cook all that food. Plus, I've got to store it somewhere, and I've got a tiny kitchen. I can literally put both arms out on my work surfaces in my kitchen. That's how big my kitchen is. As far as my hands can reach, that's how big my kitchen is, and more or less the same again, like both ways. So I don't have space to put 2 trolleys worth of food and drink in the first place. So do you know what? Let's just not buy it. So I don't bother with that. Like I said, the shops are open in a few days anyway, so let's not. Number 10, I see this all the time, and because I'm just not the person who does it, I don't actually understand it. So, drop me a comment, explain it to me, because I genuinely don't understand. I think one year I watched The Vicar of Dibley, and in this series, it was a Christmas special, and she couldn't say no to being invited to people's houses for Christmas dinner. So I think she ends up eating 2 or 3 Christmas dinners. She's literally like pushing the sprouts in her mouth to try and get them in, because she's that funny. She can't say no. They've piled her plate up full of food. And so I get why she ate so much on that day. And I suppose I get it if you're going from place to place on Christmas Day. But what I don't personally get, so I don't do it, is overeating until you are so engorged that you have to have a little sleep or you feel physically sick. So I don't overeat, and I don't overeat because I sort of pick what I want to have, and I'll have that, and then when I've had enough, I'll put it to one side, and if I want more, I can have more. So there isn't this thing where I think, oh, there'll be none of it left. There's plenty for it left. So I'm not that person who puts any weight on over Christmas, because I don't really eat a whole load over Christmas. I know that I'm off work, so maybe I might snack a little bit more, but then I'm not totally sedentary over Christmas either, because I'll still go out and walk the dog, and do whatever, pop to the gym, do whatever. So I don't overeat at Christmas, so that means I don't put on weight over Christmas, essentially, and so I can go back to work in the new year and not think, oh no, now I need to lose some weight. So that's one thing that I don't do. Number 11. Okay, this is hard. This is a trickier one than some of the others that I've mentioned before. I don't entertain people unless I really want to. So I don't invite people for Christmas dinner unless I want to feed them. And I don't go to anybody's Christmas dinner unless I really, really want to go. Now, that can be far more challenging, especially if you've been in this cycle of just doing it because it's Christmas and not wanting to do it, but feeling obligated to do it. So I just think to myself, make this the year. When I got into January, I'm like, okay, oh, what can my year be? What can my year be? And I was like, okay, 2024 is the year of more. And that's more of all the good stuff. That was what it's more of all the good stuff. So we're still in 2024. It's still the year of more. So the good stuff that you want, you should be able to have. And if the good stuff is having a stress-free Christmas day where you do not have to rub shoulders with people who irritate you and annoy you and breathe air that you'd rather they not breathe, then A, don't invite them this year, or B, uninvite yourself to their house. And I can't even think of a way for you to do that. Put it in ChatGPT. That will help you. How can I say no to going to spend Christmas with an in-law or an outlaw, whatever you want to refer to them as? How can I say no? How can I not invite people this Christmas? What can I say to not issue that invitation that you may have, in the heat of the moment, said last year, oh, yes, come for Christmas. And now you're deeply regretting that decision. You might just want to say, do you know what, this year, we're just having a really simple, immediate family Christmas. And then I'll see you on Boxing Day, or I'll see you the day after Boxing Day, or I'll see you whenever. And just actually just tell the truth. Just say, nah, not doing it this year. Just having a private, intimate family Christmas dinner, and I will see you another time. Or if you do eat early, which I don't, but if you do eat early, you could eat early and have your private dinner and say, do you know what, why don't you come round for drinks and leftovers or canapes in the evening? That might be nice. So I suppose be tactful, but don't entertain people that you don't want to entertain, because to be honest, that you feel the resentment, you can feel it. You're resentful because you didn't really want to do it in the first place. You might be put on a brave face, but there is an undercurrent. You may have to drink more just to feel good. And then that can become an issue because now you're a bit sloshed. And that's not fun for anybody, to be perfectly honest. So do what you can on that one. Try it. See what people say. To be honest, I'm like, who is going to really argue, no, I have to come to your house for Christmas? Because that would seem a bit rude. So yeah, so try that one. You know what? Just say, I'm under no obligation to entertain these people, to feed these people. I'm under no obligation. And yeah, and try it this year. Number 12 is one I think that really affects women in particular. And it affects us because we are socially conditioned to please people. And we're socially conditioned to just go along and make everybody else happy. So number 12 is, I'm not perfect. Well, I am perfect, but I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. So don't try and do everything perfectly. It's one day. That Christmas dinner, that Christmas meal thing, it's just one day. So something might go wrong. So, you know, you burn something or you've forgotten to buy something. Adapt. Google search. Google still work. Google search. What's an alternative for this? I've got this, and this in my cupboard. How can I do this when I don't? Like, I forgot the gravy granules. How do I make gravy? Like, you know, it's a difficult one. But, you know, have you got a neighbour? Go and knock at your neighbour's door. Maybe they bought extra. It might be a bit embarrassing, but either you're embarrassed or you are really, really upset and frustrated. Choose. So don't try to be perfect. It's one day. You know, roll with the punches. Roll with the punches. That's what I do. That's what I try and do. Not being perfect. We don't have to be perfect. Number 13, I don't buy Christmas crackers or trinket things like that anymore. I did back in the day because the kids like to pull Christmas crackers at the table and stuff like that. But you buy them and then the little things inside are in the rug. Then you don't see them. Then you step in them like Lego. And then it's annoying and they break. And what do you do with those silly little pack of cards anyway? You know, how many metal nail files do we need? We don't. So I don't buy Christmas crackers at all. I've relegated that. They look pretty. I did have a set that were just for decorative purposes only. and they used to come out, go on the table, and go back in the box and back in the loft till the following Christmas. Number 14, it links to this idea of not buying a whole load of food and not eating a whole load of food. I don't cook a whole load of food. I think when I was growing up, we used to have, I don't remember it well, my sister remembers it better than me. I have a selective memory, you see. But what's with the massive turkey and the beef and the gammon and the fish all have to be cooked on that day so you can have a bit of something? That is so much stress. And why? You ask yourself why. I'm like, nah, I'll have one meat. I think the time that we went down to one meat, my mum was like, what? Just what happened to the gammon? I'm like, I'm not having gammon. Don't want gammon this year. Not fussed about gammon. We're just having a turkey crown. We went through a phase. Well, it's not a phase, but I'm just like, I don't want turkey. What are the alternatives? So one year we had goose, we've had lamb, we've had beef, I've had pheasant, I've had what's that other meat now? Not bison. I was going to say bison, not bison. Venison. I've had venison. I did want peacock for Christmas dinner, but I couldn't get one. Surprisingly, no one was doing peacock when I wanted peacock for Christmas dinner. I'd watched this quick sidebar. I'd watched this I think it was a Victorian or Edwardian Christmas TV program that came on, and they used to have peacock, and they used to I think like take all the feathers or open it all up, like take all the feathers off it, but put them to one side, cook the peacock, and then arrange the cooked peacock with the feathers, so it made this massive like display thing. I thought, oh, that's cool. But anyway, I couldn't get peacock, so I didn't have peacock that year. But my point being is that I moved away from the traditional turkey dinner to go, do you know what? Let's explore other meats and let's just have something different for Christmas, and let's not do the whole 4-meat Christmas thing. Why? No 4 meat. So anyway, I don't cook a whole load of food. It means that I don't have any stress because I'm not waiting for 4 different things to try and cook. My oven's not that big. If I cook a turkey, then it's got to rest, but the beef's got to cook at a certain temperature, and that's got to rest, and all that resting, and then you got cold dinner, and that creates stress. I don't want stress. So because I don't want stress, cooking 1 meat, that's it. And I've done before where I bought that turkey that's got something else in it, and something like the 4-meat turkey things that you can get, which are like rolled, and then you just cook it, and then you slice it, and you got 4 meats, ta-da, with stuffing inside it, easy peasy. Do you know what? Just make everything simple. Have a little drink. Simple. Okay. Number 15. Just a couple more to go. Number 15. I no longer decorate the whole house. So back in the day, I don't think I used to do bedrooms, but there might have been something in bedrooms. But the hallway and the kitchen and the living room and the dining area, decorations everywhere. So it took me hours to do it in the first place, and I did it. Like, this may be really mean, but I was the only one who decorated the Christmas tree. And part of the reason why I did it and no one could touch the tree is because I like things the way I like things. That's number one. Comment below if you're like me, you like things the way you like things. And I also had invested in glass, hand-blown, hand-painted glass ornaments that I bought off QVC back in the day when I used to watch QVC a lot. And I bought these Thomas Piccone glass ornaments. They come in like these crates. I was like totally seduced watching that Christmas episode. I think it was a Christmas in July episode. I'm like, yes, getting these hand-blown ornaments. They're absolutely beautiful. But what happens is they're glass. So when the kids did decorate and they dropped one, I'm like seething because they're breaking my ornaments. And so I'm just like, do you know what? Let me cut out that bit of stress. Let me just do it myself. And then sometimes I let them place things on the tree, and then I like, get to bed, good night. And then I've reorganized the tree because I just need it to look, I need to look good. It's got to be, chef's kiss. It's got to be right. So I decorate my tree myself. I've got certain ornaments that I want to go on there. I do the whole ribbon thing. It literally takes me hours, and I want it to look beautiful. I take my Christmas photo holding a glass of something sparkling by the tree. But last year I decorated the tree, and I was like, oh, this is no. It was no longer fun. It's not fun anymore. So I thought, do you know what? It's not fun anymore. Do you know what? My kids have moved out. I'm footloose and fancy free. No tree. And then my daughter's like, oh, but Mum, coming home for Christmas, and are you going to do a tree? And I'm like, well, and I showed her some photos, some pictures of alternative Christmas trees instead of having a Christmas tree. And she's like, no, 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 no. And she's like, she's bossing me around. She's bossing me around. I let her. She's bossing me around. So I'm like, okay, what shall I do then? Because we've got the Christmas tree I've had at least 20 years, artificial tree. I have to assemble it every year. It's a 6-foot monster. And then I've got to wrap the lights and wrap this and wrap that. Seriously, I think it takes me 2 to 4 hours to decorate this tree. So I went, okay. Yesterday, I went and bought a real Christmas tree. And what I'll do if I get round to it is I'll film myself decorating my real Christmas tree, and I'll post it somewhere. So I used to decorate the trees, taking me 2 to 4 hours. Then I've got ornaments that go in specific places, and they've got little extra bits that go with them, and they're beautiful, of course. And then the top of the TV, the fireplace, the Christmas tree, the wall, the hallway, everything, and everything's there. And then comes New Year, and you've got to take all your Christmas decorations down, and I feel sick. I just look at it, I'm like, why did I do this to myself? And so I just decided, no, not going to do it to myself. No. And then my daughter's like, no, Mum, we need a tree. I'm like, okay, fine, we'll have the tree with limited decoration of the tree. I've got to rein myself in. That's going to be hard. Cold turkey, not putting everything on the tree. So we're going to have a tree. I'm going to put my reindeer that I normally put out on the top of the TV. And I think I'm just going to go for that this year. Very, very simple, which means when it comes time to put it all away, I have reduced anxiety, reduced stress. I'm happier because they'll be gone. They'll be home. It'll be me to put it all away. So that is my plan. So number 15, I no longer decorate the whole house for Christmas. I just do selected bits, and I'm done, and I'm happy. Oh, I put a wreath on the front door, and I'm happy. I'm good with that. Do you know what I mean? Good with that. Okay, so number 16. This is the last one. I don't leave my house Christmas Day, with one exception. So I don't leave my house. Two exceptions. I don't leave my house. This year, I'm very excited. So my daughter's organised us to have like matching pyjamas. We've not done that before. We're thinking about our own sort of Christmas traditions. So I shan't be going out of the house in my matching pyjamas this year. So I'm not leaving the house. Not last year, but the year before. So not last Christmas, the Christmas before. Me and my friend went and we volunteered at a homeless shelter on Christmas morning. So that was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. And that was actually really nice. So I might do that. I might do that next year, because my kids are coming home for Christmas, and I'm going to spend the whole day with them this year at home. But I think I might. That's one exception, would be that I went and volunteered on Christmas morning. And the other exception is like taking the dog for a walk. So that's the only time I'll leave my house, and then I will just be sequestered on the sofa with a cocktail, watching selected Christmas movies, playing games with the kids, chilling, and more chilling. And I haven't decided exactly who's cooking this year. My son's a really good cook, so he might be cooking. We're having duck this year. We're having sort of a Chinese Christmas fusion. So we're having duck and some other bits and pieces. So we're doing that for Christmas. Anywho, those are the things that I'm no longer doing. All those things, no longer doing. Haven't done them actually for many, many years. And I have to say, my Christmases are divine, absolutely divine. I have no stress. I'm not upset on Christmas Day. I haven't had to drink a whole bottle of sherry just to get through cooking the Christmas dinner and entertaining the outlaws or anybody else who's popped around for Christmas. It is not a comedy sketch of disaster in my house on Christmas Day. It is absolutely wonderful. And so I would want you to have a really wonderful, abundant, simple, stress-free Christmas as well. And let me know in the comments which things you either don't do anyway for Christmas. I'd really love to hear what you don't do at Christmas. And any of my 16 things that I said that I don't do at Christmas, and I don't do them. Comment and let me know which ones you really resonated with, which ones you might actually start not doing yourself. And yeah, I will be coming to you with probably more little things that maybe I do one about things that I do at Christmas specifically. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video today. A bit longer than I normally do, having a little bit of a conversation with you. But yeah, I hope you have a really wonderful Christmas this year. And I wish you all the best, and have a little cocktail for me. And let me know in the comments how you're going to be spending Christmas and what you will be doing and what you won't be doing. And I will see you again in the next video. Bye.